Rockefeller, so jealous.
I am, and the big thing is we got to try to get Courtney to at least try one of these oysters from
We'll get her to do
Matunuck
one.
Oyster Farm.
Open up.
They're just fantastic here. The owner is Perry Rasso. How are you, Perry? Nice to meet you. Wayne Bash, you're the chef.
Yep.
You're the man.
Nice.
And tell us a little bit about what we're going to make. We talked about what we're making in the clams. Is it? Pardon me. The Oyster Rockefeller today.
Yep. We're making Oyster Rockefeller today.
What goes into that?
Some spinach, a little heavy cream, butter. Started off with some shallots, and this liqueur here is Pernod.
Pernod is a little more than just your average.
Yeah, it's a botanical from France, so a little licorice flavor in there, and you top it with some buttery crackers on top. And who doesn't like cream and butter and buttery crackers?
Oh my God, that's going to be fantastic. Now, Perry, real quick, tell us a little bit about the restaurant. Where you're located?
We're down in East Matunuck, and we're right on the inlet between Potter's Pond and where the Matunuck Oyster Farm is, and we sell a lot of local produce, and we use oysters from local oyster farms and from Rhode Island.
Right.
So we don't just sell the Matunuck oysters that we grow; we sell the other wonderful varieties of oysters that are grown in Rhode Island.
Real quick, how many different types of oysters would you say? A dozen, 2 dozen different types?
There's about 30 different growers in Rhode Island practicing aquaculture, sustainable agriculture. The oysters filter out the water; they clean the water. So we serve up about 7 to 10 of them at any different time.
Okay. Sounds good. We're going to start doing this when we come back. Sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Great.
Ready?
Sounds good to me.
Right.
Back to you guys. I love oysters. I don't know about you.
Indeed. The kitchen. Lily, what's happening with the oysters over there?
That we sell at the restaurant also.
Sorry, Courtney, we're just chatting away about oysters over here because you were just telling me just now that, basically you're going to the farm and you're eating oysters when you go to the Matunuck Oyster Farm.
Yeah, well, we grow Matunuck oysters in Potter's Pond, and the restaurant is actually right on the inlet to Potter's
It doesn't
Pond.
get fresher than that,
That's
right?
right.
You probably love that, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
First of all, is this a Matunuck oyster?
That is a Matunuck oyster.
May I try one?
Absolutely.
All right. Is it? Do we
Yeah, it's detached. It's ready to go.
It's attached. All right, here we go. That is delicious and fresh and wonderful. Tell me the difference between a Matunuck oyster that we have here and some of these other ones. This one is huge.
There's a Salt Pond Select. That's grown in the Point Judith Pond, also known as the Great Salt Pond.
Will these get as big as that,
Well,
or no?
if they're grown, there's a lot of things that determine an oyster's flavor and an oyster size, how they're grown and what water body they're grown in.
Okay.
The most noticeable quality of an oyster is the brininess.
Okay.
That has to do with what salinity the water was when it came out.
Now, speaking of the different factors, let's take a look at your oysters here because this is all from your location down there, which is right
Matunuck
about
Oyster
on the
Bar
farm.
right there. That's our oyster bar. It's Matt Shuck and Oysters, and you can see there that bar is a map of the actual south shore of Rhode Island. It's got the labels of where the oysters are grown there, and there's some different varieties that we shuck over at the oyster bar.
Well, cheers to you.
All right.
I'm gonna steal another one because you're here.
Well, for
yourself.
cheersing.
All right, Leah, then you do it too. Here we go. Everybody, grab one. Hey, we have the ingredients for the recipe today on foxprovidence.com, and when we come back, we'll all be cheersing.
All right, back in the Roadshow kitchen. If you like oysters, then you're going to love what we have here. And you're going to find out what the Pernod is for here. If you ever had Pernod, this is like gasoline in some cases. This is some rocket fuel. This is Matunuck Oyster Bar, correct, my friend?
Yep.
And you guys are East Matunuck?
Yep.
Just opened.
Just opened in July.
July.
And you guys are doing really, really well, and we're happy to have you on the Roadshow. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to make, Oyster Rockefeller.
Yeah, we're going to make some Rockefeller. Rockefeller is one of those things that you see on a lot of restaurant menus, and
Yes,
it started out down in New Orleans. And
Okay.
I don't think anyone really knows the true recipe.
origin?
Yeah, people
Well,
have
the
done
Rockefellers probably asked for it,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was John Rockefeller, actually. It was made for him. And it's a real rich dish, so he was a wealthy American.
And for people who don't necessarily care for raw oysters, you can still get the flavor, and it's cooked, right?
Yeah, the key is you don't want to overwhelm the oyster, but at the same time we can have different preparations of oysters, from grilled oysters, casino-style oysters. This is a little more rich for the winter, I think.
Yeah.
Pairs well
You know
with
what you sound like a little bit like Bubba Gump? You got your gumbo shrimp. You got your, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You got your jambalaya
I
with
love
shrimp.
oysters.
Yeah, all of oysters.
Tell us the type of oysters you're going to be using today for the Rockefeller.
These oysters are Cedar Island oysters. They're locally harvested. We have several types of oysters, from 7 to 10 types of oysters at the bar at any time. These are good. They're kind of a mid-size, so they make a good one that you want to bake. You don't want to bake a true cocktail oyster because it's, more delicate.
Right.
So
do you guys have Wellfleet oysters? Because I know those are very popular in lots of.
We typically try to keep we have a lot of the Rhode Island.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But we do have a few northern oysters and some from the West Coast for comparison.
Now you got a little butter.
Yeah, a little butter going on
here.
there.
Percolating butter.
First thing you want to do is add some shallots.
Okay.
And you just want to saute those until they're kind of translucent. Once we got that working, you don't want to get any brown on those.
Okay.
Then what we'll do is deglaze with some of the Pernod. Now this might catch on fire a little bit.
Let me smell it. Get a whiff of it.
Oh, that's
It's a little bit like anise flavored.
I was going to say licorice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So add about 2 ounces of that.
Okay.
Tilt the pan a little bit.
Woo! Cover the eyebrows, boys.
Watch the eyebrows. So you want to wait about 10.
You could run a car.
You can.
You want to wait about 10 to 15 seconds. You don't want to burn it completely off, but just get some of that alcohol off of there. And then you want to add your cream in there.
Was that like your favorite trick to learn at cooking school?
We call that ambiance.
Okay.
Adding a little ambiance.
Was that heavy cream?
That was heavy cream.
Okay.
We want to be careful with heavy cream because it does tend to foam up and overflow,
Okay.
and that's going to really make a mess of your
Your dish here.
your oven. So after that, you want to bring that up to a boil. Let it reduce down slightly until then you want to add your
baby spinach?
Yeah, baby spinach. You can use any spinach, actually. You could use regular spinach. You might want to pick the ends off if you use a spinach that's any more older than this. So about 2 cups of spinach in there and get that wilting down. At the same time, you want to add some tarragon. We have fresh tarragon. Now, tarragon, you can smell that. That's it's in the mint family, but it also has kind of a licorice anise flavor as well. So it's kind of the 1-2 punch there.
Complements the liquor.
Yeah.
Right.
We also have a few of these crackers that we use for the topping.
Ritz crackers are the unsung heroes of the culinary world,
They
right?
are.
You can use them for almost everything.
Yeah, you could use panko, you could use regular breadcrumbs.
Okay.
But Ritz just have that buttery goodness.
So-
and they already
You know
have
what?
salt.
Are these the crackers?
That's the
cracked
same
up?
thing. Now, what we would do is you can take a little bit of melted butter and mix that with the Ritz, because butter and butter always make
And we
good
have
friends.
cheese. What kind of cheese do we have?
Yeah, this is Parmesan Reggiano.
Right.
So once
Fine,
this,
one of the finest cheeses.
yeah, it really is. People take it for granted sometimes. When you get the real thing, it's
Vince
nutty. And
Vince never takes Parmesan Reggiano.
No, I don't.
No.
And what do we have here?
well, there we have the finished product. So what you want to do is reduce this down. The spinach is going to release some water, so once it gets thick, it'll get thin once the water comes out of the spinach. Reduce that down. Once it reduces down, add some of your Parmesan there,
Right.
and once that melts and incorporates into the dish, you want to take it off the burner and let it cool.
Now we have only about 30 seconds left.
Yep.
So what will you do when you take it off the burner?
Once you could make this a day ahead, actually, if you were doing that for a dinner
great
party.
idea.
And you just want to put a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon in each oyster, and top it with some of the breadcrumbs, and then bake it in a 425-degree oven for about, I'd say in a normal oven, 10 minutes.
Which we did over
yeah,
here.
a convection oven.
425, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like,
All right, let's take a look at the final product.
Yeah. One of the things you might want to do is put some tin foil down there to keep them upright. You want to keep that oyster liquor in there.
Right.
'cause that's
Gotcha.
one of the tasty things about it. And then we have, here's the finished product.
Nice.
Oh, that's
If you guys want to try that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Now, should I try from
Actually,
that plate?
pull
Is that
that-
okay?
pull that back.
All right. Turn that off for you.
Why don't you try, Vince?
Can you give me a fork?
Yeah, you know what? I can't find one. So go ahead and use that because we're running out of time.
All right, why don't you...
There you are.
Thank you very much. What do you think?
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah? Well, hey, thanks so much for coming in.
Wayne, thank you.
Matunuck Oyster
Vince.
Farm is the
Fantastic.
place where you get them, and Matunuck Oyster
Wow.
Bar is the place where you eat them. And so we're going to have to visit you sometime soon. Thanks for coming in this morning.
That is really good.
Hey, Michelle, a really kind of cool morning this morning.
It is. Temperatures have been